What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be talking about the giant rotation that we are currently seeing in the stock market right now. Rotations happen all the time, and they almost always provide a ton of opportunity in the stock market for the short term and the medium term. So we have a great video today. We're going to be talking about what rotations are, how they work, how to profit from them, and the rotation that it looks like we're about to see. So stick with me today, guys, and we're not going to waste any time. So basically, a stock market rotation is essentially when we see capital shift from one area of the market to another area of the market. It happens all the time. It is more... I guess you could say it happens all the time, specifically with hedge funds and institutions. You know, these giant institutions own a bunch of different companies and stocks. So, you know, they might have technology stocks and bank stocks and travel stocks and vaccine stocks and a bunch of different stocks in different areas of the market, but they rebalance their portfolios all the time. So basically, when we see these rotations, we will see certain areas of the market maybe stagnate a little bit, while we see other areas of the market really lift off. And I have a pretty decent example of that right now. Let's look at Apple. You know, Apple is up around 1.8% today. That's a decent amount. Other areas of the market, we could see like Facebook is only up like 0.7% today. The Dow overall is only up 0.7% today, which is still a decent amount. But if we look at the stocks that are currently leading the way, we have companies like Delta Airlines, which actually just reported earnings. But we're also seeing a bunch of other travel stocks really boom up. Of course, we have Delta Airlines, but we have Southwest. We have American Airlines, United Airlines, we have Boeing, we have Carnival Cruise Line, we have Royal Caribbean, we have NCLH, so Norwegian Cruise Line, we have the Marriott chain, we have Caesars, MGM, Penn National Gaming. So it's like we're seeing a lot of these travel type stocks really lead the market to the upside today. If we look at the market watch tab on Thinkorswim and we go to the heat map, we can see some of the most green stocks in the market have to do with the travel industry. So like I said, Marriott, Carnival Cruise Lines, all the airlines, stuff like that. And that's interesting. So the reason we even see these rotations in the first place has to do with, of course, profit taking and, you know, of course, funds buying the dip in certain stocks, but it also has to do with opportunity costs. So think about it like this way. If you are the leader or the investment manager of a giant institution or fund, right? And let's say you're looking at tech stocks right now, and you're looking at Amazon and Apple and Microsoft and stuff like that, and you're saying, you know what? These stocks, even though they fell a little bit, they're still at decent levels. Like when you compare Microsoft or Apple to a stock like Zoom or Penn or Southwest or MGM or anything like that, you're like, you know what? These other stocks are down a ton more. So what I might do is I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. So sometimes what we see is these fund managers maybe trim a little bit of their holdings that are maybe holding up very well or that are at high prices, and they take some of that capital and deploy it to the opportunities that are really, really good at the time. So for example, let's say you're a fund manager and you have a ton of Apple stock and you still love Apple, you might just sell a little bit of it to take advantage of the current opportunity that the market is presenting with, let's say, airline stocks, or let's say other stocks that are significantly lower. So basically, when we see these rotations, we just see capital flowing from one area to the market to another area of the market. Now, that doesn't mean that we're specifically talking about Apple relative to Southwest Airlines in this video, but that's just one random example. Like, I can give you another one right now. Like, let's say we go to Amazon. Right now, that one's at around $3,100. So let's say, you know, an investment manager at one of these giant institutions might say, all right, I can hold on to my Amazon shares, or I can buy the dip with Zoom at 114, or I can buy the dip at Roblox at 45, or I can buy the dip with Teladoc at 69. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that the institution would necessarily sell off all of their Amazon. They just might sell a little bit of it to take advantage of the current opportunity. And when we see these events happen, it's not like these giant institutions get into the stock over the course of one day. Like, it takes weeks to fill these giant orders, and that's what normally leads to pretty nice uptrends. So the stocks that I've been seeing have the rotation over the past couple of weeks or so are definitely the airline/travel industry. So like we already covered in the beginning of the video, we have like Delta Airlines, Southwest, American Airlines, United Airlines. I guess you can say Boeing if you want to. That one's looking decent. It's had a good level too. Of course, the cruise lines, like I said, CCL, RCL, NCLH, all those ones. And then even the hotel stocks, so MGM, CZR, Penn, Marriott, so MAR. So like all these stocks are having a lot of money flow into them, okay? So keep them on your watch list. It takes a lot to move these stocks, and they're definitely moving in a pretty big way, and it definitely helps that Delta Airlines had a pretty good earnings report today too. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of money flowing into the travel industry specifically. Keep that in mind. Also, Zoom had a pretty decent day today. It's up around 7%. It's looking pretty good. I'm very bullish on Zoom, and I will be bullish on Zoom for in the bare minimum a couple years, but for a couple years I should say. But I love Zoom at this level. It's up around 7.5% today, which is pretty good. So I love to see that. It looks like money's definitely flowing into that one. We also have some of the other, I guess you can say, like COVID hype plays running up. So like Zoom, you can say Teladoc, stuff like that. A couple other ones too, but Zoom and Teladoc are some of the ones that ran up the most with COVID. But keep these ones on your watch list. There's a lot of money flowing into the travel industry specifically. Really watch those stocks. Zoom's looking good, like I said. On the other hand, keep in mind that just because stocks like AMD and NVIDIA really led the way over like the past year or so, rotations happen, and some like rotations normally last a couple months at least. So like, you know, just keep that in mind. Like, it's very easy for one group of the market to run up while another group stagnates. For example, while we had the semiconductor industry explode over like the past 2 years specifically, a lot of other industries actually fell during that time frame or stagnated. So the exact opposite can happen too. So keep that in mind. Overall, I hope you guys learned something from this video. Rotations are very, very, very important. They happen all the time. And like I said, they provide a lot of opportunity, especially in the short to medium term, because you get a lot of stocks that may have not have moved a ton over like the past 6 months that can really start to move up. So I'm excited for rotations. Normally, like when rotations just start or when they're kind of ending, that's when there's the most opportunity. So for example, like, you know, let's say we look at AMD and NVIDIA. Like, obviously they had amazing uptrends over like the past year, but if we look at them like towards like late November or like even like the middle of November, it's like it was kind of already too late. So getting in early with these rotations is pretty awesome, and it looks like the rotations are definitely starting off in a bullish way with these travel stocks. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.